Magandang hapon mga kapamilya, nagmumula muli sa PhilOil Flying V Center, ang ating Volleyball Central dito po sa San Juan. Patuloy ang ating coverage ng ating PVL or Premier Volleyball League Reinforced Conference as we approach day number 10. Ito po ay exclusive to ABS-CBN and SNA HD Channel 166. Of course, live streaming din over sports.abs-cbn.com/livestream/PVL and premiervolleyballleague.com. Laro po ng ating Lady Jet Spikers versus Water Defenders. Yan po matutunghayan natin ngayong hapon. Muli po magandang hapon at magandang araw mga kapamilya. Boom Gonzalez alongside Ann Remulla Canda and of course Ira Pablo will be our panel at large. We will be bringing you this game straight from the PhilOil Flying V Center. First up, welcome back to my partner Ann Remulla Canda and congratulations.
Thank you very much. Siyempre, always excited to be back and most especially dito sa PVL dahil really exciting ang mga games na matutunghayan natin ngayon.
And it's like you took a weekend off and came back to work again. It's impressive. Anyway, Ira, we're approaching day number 10. Itong dalawang kupunan na mapapanood natin ngayon, parehong galing sa talo, di ba?
Yes, Boom and Ann. The Lady Jet Spikers are currently at the bottom of our standings after their 5th consecutive loss. Habang ito namang Water Defenders, who just lost 2 games in this conference, occupy the 2nd spot of our standings. But you know, today we are looking at the 2 ends of our standings they're facing today, but the Lady Jet Spikers are showing improvement because dati natatalo sila in consecutive sets, pero unti-unti they are winning sets, and then eventually let's look at the improvements that they will show in today's match.
Especially with the reinforcements. And that is the story obviously in the last couple of days here in the Premier Volleyball League na bigyan na ng permit ng go signal. And it changes a lot of things, and we will talk about how it will affect itong mga laro dito at yung mga atleta natin and how we will proceed, especially when it comes to our tournament format. Meron tayong konting wrinkle in our format.
Yes, that's right. So, in the beginning of this tournament, napag-usapan nga natin, ang format ay double round robin eliminations, and it will remain that way. But what will happen is that the number 1 and number 2 seeds will advance outright to the semifinals, and they will be waiting for kung sino yung kanilang makakalaban. So the number 3 to number 6 teams, or the bottom 4 teams, will play an additional single round robin with records reset to 0 and 0. So back to 0 sila dito sa talagang kailangan nilang i-prove at paghirapan ang mga susunod nilang rounds and to make it to the semifinals. Now, the top 2 teams after the additional round becomes number 3 and number 4 in the semifinals. At magkakaroon tayo ng best of 3 semifinals, number 1 versus number 4 at ang number 2 versus number 3. And of course, for the finals, best of 3 ulit yan and best of 3 battle for third.
And it, like we said, it changes everything kasi yung mga biglang nagkaroon ng buhay eh. It's like injection of life, especially to the teams that are underneath. At isa dyan ay makikita natin yan na Lady Jet Spikers.
That's right. Well, nakikita natin dito Jet Spikers. They've struggled at the start of this conference. At dyan nga sila, they're still at the bottom looking to add an additional win. And of course, this team is hopeful na dahil meron ng import na makakapaglaro ngayon, makaka-level up ng kanilang laro kontra sa Water Defenders na ganun din naman Boom, ranked number 2 and reinforced their skills even more with the 2 imports that they have playing with them today.
Pero ngayon, di na rin makakasiguro yung mga top teams, yung 1 and 2, because of the imports, the chase is on. And speaking of imports, Ira, papakilala natin through Ira Pablo, and sino ang i-feature mo sa profile ngayon?
O nga, dahil sinabi nga natin kanina, Boom, na nagsimula ng maglaro ang mga imports dito sa PVL. Kilalanin naman natin ang import ng Lady Jet Spikers na si Patri Sangmuang. Panoorin natin to.
Asian Games medalist, Thai national team captain, at volleyball World Grand Prix star. Ilan lang yan sa mga notable achievements ni Patari Pitoy Sangmuang, ang panibagong open hitter ng Philippine Air Force Jet Spikers ngayong Reinforced Conference. Para sa 39-year-old veteran, ang kanyang playing experience bilang parte ng Thai national team ang kanyang pinakamataas na accomplishment.
I'm so proud that I'm a Thailand national team because that's my country. Every match, every tournament, this make me happy and my family so happy too. I will do my best for them, diba? And I will teach them something like that because I have many experience.
At para kay head coach na si Jasper Jimenez, magiging malaking tulong ang leadership skills ni Pitoy para sa Jet Spikers.
Alam naman natin si Pachari na dating national team at saka famous dito, famous din sa Thailand. So napakalaking sa amin tulong. Hindi lang siya player, nagtuturo pa siya sa mga players namin kung ano gagawin.
Dahil sa 5 taong paglalaro sa Pilipinas, naisapuso na ni Patari ang kulturang Pilipino. Salamat sa kanyang mga teammates na tinuturi na niyang kapamilya.
Dati na kasi kami magkasama ni Pitoy since 2012. Tapos naging import namin siya. Siya yung dati na pinag-aagawan na import kasi nga sabi nga malakas nga daw si Pitoy. Tapos nung habang tumatagal na, yung pabalik-balik na siya dito sa Pilipinas.
Mabilis maka-pick up, ang taas ng sense of humor niya. Para halos marunong na nga siya mag-Tagalog eh. Talagang okay siya. Madaling pakisamahan, parang Pilipino na talaga siya.
Very close, we are friends, good friends, always. We are like family.
Dala ang kanyang world-class experience sa international volleyball, handa nang lumipad si Patari Sangwang kasama ang Lady Jet Spikers patungo sa inaasam na kampyonato dito sa Premier Volleyball League.
Yung Pachari before na nagiging star sa mga game, lalong competitive siya ngayon.
Si Pitoy simple lang pero pag bumanat yan, 100% yung effort na ipapakita niya sa amin para lang sa Team Air Force.
Maraming salamat po to support us. Let's share us all every game. Thank you.
Mga kapamilya, kung may mensahe kayo para kay Pitoy o gusto nyo lang makisali sa aming usapan, you can tweet us at ABS-CBN Sports and use the hashtag PVL on ABS-CBN. And kung gusto nyo namang malaman ang mga schedules, features, and updates on sports, you can check out our website, that's sports.abs-cbn.com. And for exclusive photos, you can check out our Instagram account, that's at ABS-CBN_sports. And syempre, Boom and Ann, meron tayong Ron the Cam, which gives a first-hand footage sa ating mga players. Ayan, kanina.
First hand pero second hand food.
Hindi. Actually, this game is called Chubby Bunny, kung saan susubuan ng marshmallows ang dalawang players. At kailangan sabihin mo yung salitang Chubby Bunny. Ayan, naglaro kanina si Jeng Boli at si Risa Sato. Sobrang nakakatuwa, Boom and Ann, kasi parehas nilang imports. Galing silang Thailand and Japan. So, hindi nila ma-pronounce ng maayos yung Chubby Bunny. Kaya hindi ko alam kung sino yung panalo dito.
Hindi na nila kailangan kumain. para lang makuha yung challenge. It's also very interesting, Ira, and Ann knows this. We're going to experience and watch 2 veteran imports. Bali at si Pachari nga kasi Pitoy kanina. Napamahal na dito sa Pilipinas at may kanya-kanyang kwento sila para dito sa volleyball at matutunghayan natin yung kanilang labanan dito sa PVL. Alright, Ira, maraming salamat. Ira Pablo, ang ating panel at large. Roron, ayan, kukuha pa ng ibang mga balita, interview, baka pagkain na ibibigay sa amin ni Ann. Kami naman ni Ann, babalik at pag-uusapan natin itong labanan natin. You're watching the PVL right here on SNA. Kayo po'y nanonood at nakatutok dito sa PVL or Premier Volleyball League Reinforced Conference on SNA. Available also on sports.abs-cbn.com/livestream/PVL or Premier Volleyball League.com. Alright, pag-usapan natin ng dalawang kupunan na ating matutunghayan ngayon dito sa Philoil Flying V Center. We're in the middle of our second round already and napag-usapan ni Ann kanina yung mga changes going into the postseason. So that means these 2 teams have already met in the first round, anong kinalabasan nung laban na yun?
Well, nung unang pagkikita nitong dalawang teams na to, that was in April 30, these two teams met, and the Water Defenders actually won against the Jet Spikers. 4 sets ang kanilang nailaro, at yun nga, kinulang, maganda yung umpisa ng Jet Spikers. They won the first set, but the Water Defenders just really bounced back, never looked back at their first set loss, at yun nga, tuloy-tuloy.
Pero ganda sana, no? Maganda yung labanan na yun. That was the first round result. You see on your screens the 4 setters and the different departments on where the Water Defenders and the Lady Jet Spikers excelled in or need to improve on coming into this second round matchup. Second round's always different, lalo na ngayon dahil nga meron ng reinforcements, as we are in the reinforced conference. Technically, yun naman talaga ng ating Premier Volleyball League. Alright, sabi nga ni Ira kanina, pareho itong dalawang kupunan na to ay galing sa pagkatalo. Pag-usapan natin yung last game na itong Lady Jet Spikers, where their import, si Pachari, ay naglaro na. Sangwang, naglaro na nung last game against Perla Spikers. The Perla Spikers did not play with their reinforcements yet, and yet they came out on top in 3 sets. Although those 2 of the 3 sets were grueling and really tough para dito sa Perla Spikers.
That's right. Ang larong ito, Boom, no, the reason why the Perla Spikers won, it's because they really swept all the scoring skills in that match. So napadali sa kanila, and the Jet Spikers just really couldn't get their groove throughout that game. It just goes to show siguro kung bakit nung third set medyo na-demoralize at nawalan ng loob. Talagang bumagsak ang kanilang scoring, and dito sa larong ito rin, mamaya pag-uusapan din natin, you know, it was Zihar Vasho actually, and the absence of an import, siya yung maganda yung nilaro in that match.
And you see them winning in 3-2 again. 2 of those sets, really tough para dito sa Water Defenders. Napahirapan yung buhay nila dun sa last game. I'm sorry, the Lady Jet Spikers. Now, let's talk about them. And now that they have their import playing, what does she bring to the Lady Jet Spikers?
Well, I think for one, it's really the experience and the maturity. Kanina nga, during the pre-game interview, yun yung sinabi rin ng kanilang coaching staff. Talagang nagtuturo siya sa mga teammates niya, and with her national team experience in Thailand, and of course, the level of play in Thailand is very, very high. So, magandang contribution yun sa team. So, if in their first game, she actually scored already a team high of 11 points, I'm pretty sure, ano pa lang yan, nagwa-warm up pa lang yan, Boom, and then what she needs is a little bit more time training with her teammates, at iba pa rin syempre yung kapag naglalaro ka sa actual game.
And her work's gonna be cut out for in this matchup dahil lalaban sila going up against the Water Defenders, who have 2 reinforcements coming into play for them. Although galing din sila sa talo, pangalawang talo na nila dito sa torneo, but still, they're going to be a dangerous team from here on in. So let's talk about the Water Defenders losing to the Lady Warriors the last time.
Well, that match, the Water Defenders, they lost, but they were able to extend that match into a 5-setter. So
this was the exciting match where Myla Pablo unfortunately went down.
That's right. And dikit yung mga sets na nilaro nila dito. So hindi natin masasabi na they just really gave it away. If you look at the score there, all the way up to the 5th set, halos dikita niya at 15 and 13. And even when you look at the different skill departments, Boom, halos pantay lang. Hindi naman sobrang nalalayo. Siguro kung meron lang nilamang ang Lady Warriors in this match, it was really their spiking. Pero yung Water Defenders did even better when it came to service. Yung kanilang service, yun ang kinaragahan nila.
Coming from behind to snatch that win, a big one. And of course, that girl on your screens will always be big wherever she plays, whatever team she plays on. But now she's going to have more help. Not just 1, but 2. And 1 is very, very familiar with Philippine volleyball. That girl on your screens, good friends of Anne Remulla. She's been playing, I think 2005 was her first exposure to Philippine volleyball. She had a little bit of a break, 3 years from the Philippine volleyball, but she's back, and she just said that she's super excited to play again. She couldn't contain herself. You saw her earlier. And now meron pa siyang katuwang na katulong.
That's right. Si Wally, of course, tulad nga ng nasabi mo, hindi naman yan babalik ng Pilipinas kung talagang hindi siya nag-e-enjoy. And she scored 17 points in that game against the Lady Warriors. Pero yun nga, no, matutulungan pa siya ni Jennifer Keddy who scored 21 points in that match. So it's gonna be a deadly lethal duo itong mga imports ng water defenders.
Oh, the water defenders, yeah. And the thing is, they're deadly, they're lethal, and they're tall. And it changes the game really here in the Premier Volleyball League. They're so used to like Wally and Pacherin, sanay na dito. And well-loved, no? Well-loved sila ng Pinoy as much as they love playing here in the Philippines. Samahan niyo po kami, of course, on our Twitter account at ABS-CBN Sports. Ang hashtag natin as usual is PVL on ABS-CBN. We always post pictures on our Instagram account at ABS-CBN Sports.ph. And of course, ang live stream po natin is sports.abs-cbn or sports.abs-cbn.com/livestream/PVL and premiervolleyballleague.com. There is no excuse not to join us. There's also a lot of reasons for you to join us, not only on TV or live stream, but here in the venue. We also have a DJ. We always have a DJ, and entertaining everybody. DJ Louie will take care of business inside the Phil Oil Flying V Sports Arena. We'll take a break, and when we come back, we'll get it going now between the Lady Jet Spikers and the Water Defenders after these.
Presenting our officials for this match. First referee, Mr. Mark Anthony Santos, National Referee. Second referee, Mr. Erlindo Eusebio, National Referee. Before we present our Lady Jet Spikers of the Philippine Air Force. Let's start off with their team captain, number 12, Airwoman Second Class Joy Gazelle Cases. At number 4, Airwoman Second Class Iyari Yonko. Number 7, Airwoman First Class Wendy Ann Semana. Number 16, Airwoman Second Class Angel May Antipuesto. Number 17, Airwoman Second Class Josemer Tapik. And their foreign guest player, number 3, Pachari Sangmuang. Libero, number 5, Mary Ann Balmaceda. Head coach, Technical Sergeant Jasper Jimenez. Presenting our Bali Purest Water Defenders. Team captain is number 5, Gretchel Sultanes. Number 4, Jasmine Nabor. Number 11, Risa Sato. Number 15, Jerilee Malabanan. Making a comeback is our foreign guest player, number 7, Jaroensi Boli. And number 8, foreign guest player, Jennifer Keddy. Libero, number 6, Leslie Ann Pantone. Head coach, Mr. Rogelio Roger Gorayev. This is match number 22.
Match number 22. Dito sa ating Premier Volleyball League. Ang bilis ng mga pangyayari dito sa PVL, kaya you guys have to really catch up, and kung hindi man catch up, tutok lang. And like we said sa pregame, there are many ways to do so. You know, whether it's on our broadcast on TV, whether it's online through the games, whether it's on Twitter or on Instagram just to check results para sa mga laro. Pero ang bilis ng mga pangyayari. Like I was saying, like, today, Saturday, Tuesday, I did the Water Defenders game, and you know, isa pa lang yung talo nila. At the time, They won another game, and then pagbalik ko Saturday, after a quick out-of-town break, dalawa na kagad yung talo nila. There's so many things that can happen here in the PVL. So you have to always be in touch with us at lagi nakatutok. By the way, the IG is, I think I gave the wrong IG earlier. So it's ABS-CBN Sports on Twitter and ABS-CBN_sports on Instagram.
Of course, boom, now all of our the imports for both these teams now seeing action.
Yes.
Isa pa to dun sa
Yes.
binabanggit natin kanina na pagbabago. Ano? This will definitely change the way both teams play.
Yes.
Elevate the level of play as well dahil
Correct.
yung height, no, nadagdagan din ng height ang bawat koponan.
Elevate play, and not to mention, because of yung pinag-usapan mong may post-season tweaks tayo, dadaming laro natin. So, the two things that I see that are going to happen, dadaming laro as Bali puts it away. Pangalawa, medyo mag-even yung playing field dahil lahat ngayon magkakaroon ng pag-asa pumasok. Sabi nga ni Ann, kung na-miss nyo, number 1 and number 2 will get a bye, will go straight into the semifinals, and then yung matitirang 3 to 6, they're all back to 0. So panibagong buhay para sa mga teams from 3 to 6. So it will make everything really interesting as if it weren't interesting enough. And it's about time, by the way, that we had the reinforcements. We were talking to them last Tuesday. Kating-kati na maglaro at ngayon nakakapaglaro na. Alright, punta naman natin si Ira Pablo for this report.
Boom and Ann, wala ngayon para sa water defender si Aiko Ordaz because today is her graduation day over at National University. Aiko graduates with a degree in marketing and her teammates and coaches send their well wishes for the fresh graduate Aiko Ordaz. Speaking of education, Jennifer Keddy was encouraged by her parents to play volleyball in order to get a scholarship for Cal Poly University. She was successful in doing so, and this import, born in California but raised in Montana, graduated back in 2014, and she has been playing as an import in different countries ever since. First time niya ngayon maglaro dito sa Pilipinas for PVL at sobra daw siyang nag-enjoy. Tinanong ko siya kung anong paborito niyang pagkain at sinabi niya tapsilog daw, pero hindi daw siya kakain ng chicken feet. Bumanan?
Never say never, Jennifer. Especially when you're talking to me and Ann.
At actually, yun yung isa sa mga things no, na palaging pinapagawa ng mga Filipino teammates
Right,
sa
of
kanilang
course.
mga imports. And they make them try
Right.
Filipino delicacies. Kalut, mga
Yes,
ganyan.
exactly.
Oo.
Thank you for that report, Ira. And congratulations to Aiko
Oh yeah,
Das.
congratulations.
Jennifer was right behind me last Tuesday when we were having avocados here, avocado shakes, and it really caught her eye. So we wanted to give her one. You know, and we were laughing last Tuesday about not being able to play, but the truth is, you know, it can be a paid vacation for them dahil dito na sila, you know, they're practicing whatever, but they're athletes and they want to play. And you, of all people, would know there's nothing like being on the court. Ayon lang na mag-cheer dito sa likod namin. Gusto nila, kasama nila, yung mga teammates nila.
I'm sure they're itching to play, especially because the main mission of why they're here in the Philippines is because they're here to see action. So yung feeling na pinapanood mo yung teammates mo na nakakasama mo sa training, tapos hindi ka makapaglaro. Especially if, say for example, your team is losing, yun talaga yung mahirap doon.
And it's an interesting mix for reinforcements. Let's say for this game, you have two veterans, as a double contact will be called on Wendy and Semana. You have veterans who love the Philippines and the Filipinos love them back, in Sangmang and Buali. And then you have Yubi and Kit. So it's an interesting mix here in this game for the Water Defenders and the Lady Jet Spikers. That already hit the ground. So puntos para kay Gretchen Soltones. 7-4 ang ating talaan. At the serve of the MVP.
Did hit the floor.
Balmaceda coming up to the plate. Natandaan din natin while we're just starting this game. Astapik there. Cassius rather able to get the point. And I said this during Tuesday, Ann. you have to remember that these teams going into this reinforced conference were preparing with the imports. Diba? They were training, they were practicing. The game plans, the schemes were all with the imports. So for them not to play with them for the first, what, pretty much 2 months?
First half at least of the conference.
Was very, very tough. We'll talk more about that later on. 8-5 ang ating talaan. Sa loob po tayo ng Volleyball Central, Premier Volleyball League. Labanan ng Water Defenders and Lady Jet Spikers. Me and Ann were talking about this point. Nasabi natin prior to the break. The teams were practicing and training with the imports. To play for the first half of the season without them. And then nakita mo na yung team standings nagkakaroon ng separation. Kasi the teams have already adjusted without the imports. Ngayon, you incorporate them again. Panibagong adjustment na naman.
That's right. So 2 waves of adjustment for all of the teams actually. Ano? And yun nga it's, we're halfway through the conference already. But I guess yung maganda dito is non-stop naman yung kanilang training. But of course, the actual game scenario is always different. So we'll see today how well they're gelling. But si Boli,
classic.
It doesn't seem like she's having any difficulties connecting with Nabor. That time it was Sato setting it up.
I mean, there is a word that you use for imports like veterans. But you can even say pioneer. You know, they're not even just veterans. Yang is a pioneer.
Definitely. When we started getting imports, nandiyan na yan. And in fact, because she's been in and out of the country for the past X number of years, marunong na mag-Tagalog yan.
Correct. And nakita mo kanina, when you were talking to her, I was talking to her, she was clapping and clapping. She just
so giddy.
Yeah, parang gusto niya talaga maglaro. Kaya siya mahal na Pilipino rin. Nag-volley. Campfire on the side of the Water Defenders. The score is 6. They will be serving 10. Lady Jet Spikers. So some of these players like kumari, mga sila Raisa Sato, Jasmine Nabor, yung mga baguhang UAP, yan yung mga alam nilang pangalan while they were grade school, high school.
Ouch!
Right? But you know what I mean though?
Yeah. Yan yung pinapanood nila. They were growing up watching the V-League.
Oh, now you're playing with them. Right? Okay, of course, I've been saying, no? Pwede yung panoorin always ang PVL on our website, the #1 sports website, by the way, in the Philippines, sports.abs-cbn.com/livestream/PVL. Sujin Reyes, Amanda Villanueva, let's listen in real quick.
From the other side na si Lady Jet Spikers na napaka-veteran na si Simana.
Of course. At itong si Nabor, isang fun fact pa dyan, hindi siya setter from the start. When she was playing for the NU girls, dati siya utility spiker.
Oh, that's why she also hits kapag yung over-receive.
Yes. And on the other side, we saw Semana who just gave her service, but this is now being returned by Pitoy Patchari Samwang.
Free
the
ball.
board goes to Pijeng on a combination play.
Lakas naman nun. What is expected of her?
That's Amanda Villanueva joining our facilitator, Sinjin Reyes, and always live stream for our live stream fans. And it's always great to have players who are currently playing also in their view, because they're playing currently against these batch of players. So it's a different point of view from yours, and it's a different perspective from Coach Ronnie's, and it's a great twist to our coverage as always, as Quetzal Sotones gives them a 6-point lead, 13-7. Cross court.
Nice sharp hit. It is actually, you know, the imports, the reinforcements playing today is a good balancing act for the lineup of the Water Defenders.
Makinig tayo kay Coach Jasper.
Sa'yo na naman yung patong niya, tingnan mo umiikot, bumabalik, yun ang abangan mo, at saka dito na naman. Kanina, short na yung set di ba? Hindi na kayang i-down yun, kaya paghabol mo, iiwan mo yung kaliwa mo, humabol ka sa kanan, iiwan mo yung kaliwa mo. Ha? Uli na, wala na yung pagdadaan. Ha? Yes, sige.
Referee.
Water Defenders with a 6-point lead. Pitoy. Tanguang. The 39-year-old veteran. Siya veteran.
Yep.
They're all veteran. Well, you can call a pioneer. I think that's really
that's a good, that's
a
the
better
best
word,
way.
yeah. And she still packs a punch, doesn't she? Her first years here in the Philippines. Pinupuntahan sa venue ng tao para siya panoorin din talaga eh. Tsaka totoo yung mga Pinoy sa kanya eh. She has such a good spirit about her and she's always had that.
And that's what Filipinos like.
Yeah.
And then plus if you see her play, makikita mo all out.
All out. Di mahiyain, nakikitawa.
She embraced actually the culture very well.
Sa akin nga, my observation since that year, as you see Sato here, unable to put it away, she embraced the culture faster than probably people embracing her, including teammates.
That's true.
Ang bilis niyang nag-adapt eh. What do you see though the difference from, I mean again, sabi niya 2005, even physically, is there anything different from her? You've known her, you've covered her for a very long time.
Well, physically now, what I told her earlier when I saw her is that she seemed to have slimmed down a bit. Siyempre, yung level of play from what I remember in the past, mas mabilis din kahit paano because over the, I believe that was her peak.
Right.
The time that she was here. And yun nga, year on year, bumabalik siya dito. Matagal ding napahinga na bumalik siya. So,
3 to 4 years, sabi niya.
Oo, 3 to 4 years. So, kumbaga dati on a roll siya, no? She had very good connection with the team that she has played with, the collegiate team na kasama niya palagi. Ito, panibagong team ito.
Lamang sila 15-9. Actually, sa tingin ko, and yun pa nga yung gusto ng mga Philippine volleyball followers niya is the fact na nakita mo rin na yung evolution ng laro niya. Hindi yung one time, two times lang na. Diba nakita nila na ang lakas-lakas niya dati, nakita nilang nag-iba ng konti yung role.
But one thing's for sure, what has been consistent with Bali all throughout the years that she's been playing with us, yung kanyang passion. You'll see it eh. Dati talagang siya, kahit na everything else is going wrong for the team that she's playing for, she'll try to find a way to get those points in.
I agree. 100% ang kanyang enthusiasm for volleyball. Ang tindi talaga. Now, when you consider everything, this is a loaded team. And you have Pantone, obviously, as your libero. And then you have new blood in Malabanan and Nabor. And Sato, Soltones, at nagdalawang isip si Jeng. Cross court, hinabol ni Bali. Playable. And they go in the middle. Keddy with a block. Open. Longest rally of the match so far. Soltones trying to finish it. Nope. It will be done because it was a low hit.
Straight into the tape of the net.
Yonko serving. Volley mula sa likod. That's out. Yeah, girls like Gretchen Soltones, I'm sure pinapanood lang nila dati ito. Back in 2005, 06, 07.
But now playing side
Playing
by side.
side by side. That's a good setup.
The thing here is as we go into break.
Sige, technical timeout muna tayo. Balikan natin yan. 16-12 is the score. The Water Defenders in the lead.
Hi Angel, ako si Nico. Tanong ko lang, stricto ba si Coach Jasper pagdating sa training?
Hi Nico, thank you sa tanong. Si Coach, di naman siya stricto. Call ko siya na coach. Pero kung kailangan maging stricto, naging stricto ko siya. Thank you sa question.
Kayo po ay nakatutok dito sa Premier Volleyball League. Ang hashtag natin on Twitter, again, it's PVL on ABS-CBN. And we are watching the game between the Water Defenders and the Lady Jet Spikers. Kanina si Angel Antipuesto yung interview natin sa Ronda Camp. 17-12, you wanted to make a point, Ann?
Yeah, I was gonna say earlier, no, before we went to that technical timeout, na ang nagiging difference or advantage ngayon ng Water Defenders against the Jet Spikers, despite the fact na meron sila ng parehong reinforcements, ano, dito sa Water Defenders, kahit anong ikot nila, height is there. Because dalawa yung import na nagro-rotate. Right. Malabanan is also a tall player. Nabor as a setter is also tall. Nagmumukha lang siyang maliit, no? Beside Keddy, but she actually has the height. On the other hand, for the Jet Spikers, yung height advantage, pretty much nasa may average height lang sila. You'll see it there. And of course, yung kanilang seasoned or veteran reinforcement, iisa lang din kasi siya eh. So, iikot at iikot siya sa likod.
14-17, umahabol dito ang Lady Jet Spikers. It's also interesting, if you're Nabor, maybe she had great training working with Jaja Santiago. With the height of Jaja Santiago.
So now, alam niya kung paano yung tachado na niya. Oh.
Although, syempre, iba yung laro, iba yung talon. Mas athletic tingnan si Jaja over Keddy. He seems a bit slower, a little bit less athletic than Jaja. But I'm sure in terms of like just your basic tosses, your basic sets.
Because there's that height, yung height na kailangan mong habulin. Feed the ball differently to a person this tall than you would to a to a player who's probably like 5'7" or 5'8".
Oh, that's a great adjustment. Napeke ang depensa ng Lady Jet Spikers. Wally, been doing it since 2005. Keddy now. Serve. Service ace. 19-16, first set ng ating labanan, Water Defenders and the Lady Jet Spikers. Semana in the middle. Is that Antipuesto? Wally again. Coverage was there for Yonko. Nabor, sa gitna na naman. Wally na naman. That off speed. Passes sa likod. Gretzel. Sinalo ni Palmaceda. One more time around the block. Nabor goes to Sato. Still a rally going on. Nabor looks at Wally. Wally delivers. Malabanan. Gretzel uli sa gitna. Returned right away. Nabor will go back to Wally with a quick hit.
Of course, we expect Nabor to give majority of the sets to Wally, who's been a very high percentage attacker for her.
Good save by the very tall Jennifer Keddy. You even appreciate that even more when somebody like that, 6'4",
gets to
backhand save, right? Go back. Keddy. Nabor. Sato floating. Go back to Yonko. Gretzel easily digs that. Oh, great 1-2 play there. And it's still alive. The rally's getting longer between these two teams. Wally off the block, in between.
So far, also, both teams displaying good defense.
Yep.
Air Force.
Coach Jasper with another timeout.
Nakakablock tayo, pero wala sa ayos, wala sa postura. Paghabol natin, hindi nakalabas yung kamay, nakapasok, tapos iwan sa kaliwa. Mabot ka sa kaliwa, di ba? Hindi mo may kanan. Hey, Joy, karga mo. Paano kung wala? Wala eh. Sige, kapit lang. Binrek lang natin. Masyado mahaba yung rally. Okay, ingay lang. Ingay sa loob, ha? Go, go, go.
21-16, first set action. And Pitoy hasn't made much of much noise yet dito sa ating unang set.
Coach Jasper calling that timeout. Sabi nga na, no, just to bring the momentum. Dahil, actually, magaganda yung nakita nating returns and exchanges. Mahahaba yung rally. But always, it's the water defenders na nakakahanap ng paraan to get the point.
Kelly really digging well in this match. The first timer here in the Philippines showing that she's not just all height and all block and all hitting and striking. Mayan Bandino, finally. It's surprising actually that she hasn't seen action yet, but I'm sure Coach Jasper has his reasons. So ngayon, papasok na siya.
Bandino, of course, one of his consistent attackers.
So now the lead down to 5. Water defenders are 3 points away from pocketing ang first set. Antipuesto. Naunahan yung mga blockers. And Bandino now. Misreceived a bit. Adjustment by Nabor. Sumana. Good block right there. Good coverage by Abanto. Lakas pa rin lumampas no, ni Pitoy kahit na 39 years old. Wally naman. Sabi niya, ako rin naman
The difference between the two actually, if you would compare, si Pitoy malakas, may braso, but you'll see Boli actually gets the ball from the highest point.
Kaya tusok.
Kaya tusok yung kanyang bola.
I love the contrast also of our setters. A legend and former UAP MVP Wendy Ansimana, the last setter to be able to do it, if I'm not mistaken. To be MVP in the UAP, if I'm not mistaken, she's the last one.
And I know we always speak so highly about her. It's because itong si Simana, lahat ng pwesto.
Yeah,
nalaro na niyan.
Correct. Nalaro na in her career.
In her career.
Especially after college.
Yes.
Doon siya talaga nag-experimento. Look at Bali! Spinning around for the set point. I was about to say Simana, the veteran, and then the newbie, Jasmine Nabor. But look at this.
Nagmamadali si Jeng.
Don't call me old. Kasi sabi niya, pioneer is a good term. Then the pioneer brings them the first set, 25-17. Babalik po kami.